Airports. Places of order. Of lines, uniforms, security checks. We pass through them believing the system works. That nothing dangerous, nothing illegal, slips through. But sometimes, danger doesn't look like a weapon. It doesn't come in a suitcase stuffed with explosives. It comes disguised as something ordinary. On this day, at Lagos International Airport, danger looked like a businessman. Tall, sharp, confident. Dragging behind him, a single black suitcase. Inside that case, was a fortune. Not in dollars. Not in drugs. But in pure, gleaming gold. And it was about to unravel one of the boldest smuggling attempts in Nigeria's history. This is the Lagos Gold Smuggling case. It began like any other day at Lagos International. Travelers rushing to flights. Families saying hurried goodbyes. The shuffle of footsteps on polished floors echoing through the vast terminal. Customs officers scanned faces, scanning documents, barely pausing as passports flicked open and shut. To most, it was routine. But then, he appeared. A man in his late 40s. Clean suit. Polished shoes. A crisp white shirt. The picture of success. He moved with calm precision. Not rushed. Not nervous. Just steady. Like a man who had done this hundreds of times before. But that's what made him stand out. He was too calm. Too precise. As though every gesture had been rehearsed. The suitcase rolled smoothly behind him. No one looked twice. No one suspected. And yet, inside it lay the beginning of his downfall. The black suitcase slid onto the conveyor belt. Through the humming X-ray scanner. Its contents glowing faintly on the screen. Shirts. Trousers. Personal items. All seemed ordinary, except for one thing. The blocks. Heavy. Dense. Solid. Customs officers froze. Their eyes fixed on the glowing image. This was no mistake. This was no laptop. No books. It was something far more valuable. Bars of gold, layered, disguised, hidden beneath clothing. For a moment, silence filled the room. Officers leaned in, whispering. The glow of the machine reflected off their faces. Someone had tried to move gold, millions worth, through Lagos International. And it was sitting right in front of them. Now the question was simple. Do we stop him immediately? Or let him move, and watch? Two plainclothes investigators slipped into the crowd. Their eyes locked on the man with the suitcase. He walked calmly, like nothing was wrong. Passport in hand, ticket ready. At the gate, he smiled faintly as he handed it over. But the mask was cracking. Tiny beads of sweat glistened on his forehead. His eyes shifted, scanning faces. Not wild, not frantic. Just enough to betray unease. The officers exchanged a glance. They didn't need words. They knew, this man was hiding something. The plane was boarding. The gate was open. He thought he was seconds away from freedom. But then, "Sir, can you step aside?" His smile faltered. Two agents flanked him, calm but firm. Passengers paused, confused. The businessman stopped cold, suitcase clutched tighter. And then, the snap. Handcuffs. The gleam of steel in the harsh airport lights. In an instant, the confident traveler was exposed. No longer a businessman. But a smuggler, caught in the act. A small, windowless room. Fluorescent light buzzing above. The man sat at a cold metal table. His suit, once sharp, was now crumpled, damp with sweat. His hands tapped nervously. His eyes avoided the investigators across from him. They weren't asking if he carried gold. They knew. They had the evidence. What they wanted were the names. The network. The men behind him. But he stayed silent. Each second stretched. Every silence screamed louder than words. Then came the proof. One by one, officers placed evidence on the table. The suitcase. The glowing X-ray scans. And finally, the gold. Bars stacked neatly, gleaming under the single lamp. The weight of his deception laid bare before him. The man lowered his head. There was no denying it. The businessman's mask was shattered. What remained was only a courier. A pawn in a smuggling empire stretching far beyond Lagos. When he was let out, the airport had changed. Crowds stopped to stare. Cameras flashed. Whispers filled the terminal. The same man who had entered with calm confidence was now dragged through in chains. Prosecutors later called it one of the boldest smuggling attempts in years. The gold seized. The route disrupted. The man's future destroyed. For him, there would be no more flights. No more suits. No more freedom. Airports are built on movement. Millions pass through every year. Each bag, a mystery. Each traveler, a story. Most are ordinary. But some, like this, hide shadows. At Lagos International, the shadows came in the form of gold. Tomorrow, it could be drugs. Or weapons. Or worse. What stops it isn't just machines. It's vigilance. The patience of officers who noticed the cracks in a mask. He walked in as a businessman. He walked out in chains. Because in airports, nothing stays hidden forever.